Hello, great listeners. Welcome back. This is Chef Walter, and Flavors and Knowledge is next. Topic today: beware of supermarket scams. It is a routine for all of us to shop in a grocery store. One stop in one place can ease the stress. But the significant national chain has us all figured out. From the labels to the layout of the aisles, there is a specific operational method in use. The idea is a simple business. Spend as much money as possible while employing a few legal tricks. We look for a couple of items and we'll end up with a lot more we intended to buy. Temptation takes us over, and stores know exactly that. The seduction begins with objects positioned strategically, and we will fall into the scam. Some stores go to the extension of the no-return road and force the journey through the store. Here's a list of some creative ways they can fool us. They design the stores for consumer manipulation. The produce department appears first, and the bright colors makes us hungry. The bakery will be next, with the oven that releases the scent of fresh par-baked chocolate chip cookies. Staples such as eggs and milk will always be at the other end of the store. Walk for 1/3 of a mile, lose some weight, and then buy as much as possible to gain the weight back. They certainly don't have a grandmother making those luscious cookies, pies, and bread. Frozen, par-baked, or reheated, that is what you're going to get. Some stores do bake from scratch. The scratch comes from a premix to which they add eggs and water. Cream desserts mostly arrives frozen. And if you go to one of the stores at 5 o'clock in the morning, I can assure you that the bakery light is off. A common mistake is to mislabel the meat. Label the weight with a higher price than the actual scale registers. Meat on trays collect moisture and water. Water is cheap, but you will pay for it. Multiply 1 ounce of water for 100 of customers a day, and you'll have the answer. Sometimes you see a sign that states that the water solution helps the taste. No, that is a lie. The sum of all the pennies made from the water sends their kids to Harvard Medical. Stores also spray water on produce because it keeps it inviting and fresh looking. Again, water holds weight and regularly passes on to consumer. Profits are all about 1 penny at a time. Then we have the scallops, which fall into the category of the water scam. Stores soak scallops in a solution comprising as much as 85%. A few years back, the Boston Globe investigated 21 Massachusetts supermarkets and found water level much higher than the industry standards. Scallops have already high water content naturally, and there is no need to add any more. And even those sold as unprocessed fail into the same mix. Then there is the seafood fraud, which is not a fluke. It is a serious issue across all states, especially on the expensive varieties. Distributors swap one fish for another as a common practice. Let's say that you want to buy fresh red snapper at $21 a pound. Well, most white fish have a similar texture once it's filleted. It is effortless to sell another specimen such as tilapia, tilefish, and other cheap substitutes that often cost about $3 a pound. And don't forget, restaurants repeat the same practice. Purchase fish whole and have the store clean it for you. That is my advice. Consumers may not have all the expertise and fully trust the stores while paying for the bait-and-switch process. Savvy customers can combat scams in grocery stores. Comparing prices and get the best deal requires time and knowledge. Stores make the process very difficult by mixing the units of measurements on the label, and one particular example is ice cream. Some companies label their brands by the ounces, and others go for a pint or quart. It's practically impossible to understand the price amount. Download a unit conversion app on your phone to have a clearer idea about what you're getting. Let's say you buy potatoes and fresh fruit. You'll get home, and once the bag or the package are open, you will find rotten or defective products on the bottom. If you catch the store's problem, you might get a refund, but you will not go back for the exchange once you are back home. Stores purposely arrange products that way. They could discard the faulty items, but there is no money to be made that way. The eye-level stratagem is another method to weasel out money from the consumer. Shoppers look at the center first, too lazy to bend down, stretch, or move things around. High-price items stand right in front of your face. Be aware and actively seek items below or above or what is called the eye-level, bi-level manipulation. Then we have chips and salsa, and they usually walk together. Most things like eggs, dairy, and meat have their own department, while salsa and chips are side by side. The mind works in a particular way. We see salsa and we immediately know that we need the chips. The same applies to pies and whipped cream or hash brown and bacon. There might be a less expensive salsa on the other side of the aisles, but you really don't know that. And the trend of the time is my favorite one, cage-free or organic. You feel morally obligated to purchase, hoping for a better choice. It could very well be another example of a lie. Ants, classified as cage-free, are really not locked up at San Quentin prison. The only requirement for the chicken to be considered cage-free is to have 1 square foot of space. Paying a high price for the eggs make you feel better, but that does not solve the cage issue. The organic movement has reached skyrocketing popularity. We all want to buy and eat fewer pesticides and chemicals, but there is no way to tell if it is organic by the look of it. Possibly not. You buy organically fed meat, but you have no idea what the animal ate. It is challenging to know if something is organic or not unless there are shreds of evidence or scientific examination. Buy local. Stay away from imported fruit and produce. Get acquainted with brands. Quality companies monitor the legitimacy of their products and are concerned about your health and the environment. Of course, after listening to this podcast, you might think that I despise shopping in a supermarket. I must admit it is not my favorite chore, and I have plenty of reluctance. But I am very aware of the scamming possibility and religiously act accordingly. I ask many questions, read the label carefully, use a conversion app, read about brands and companies, and try not to rush through the task. I eat better food, spend wisely, and I really don't get on board with the whole scamming train. Shopping is an art form that requires the best of all of us, and maybe the dollars we save can go toward our kids' education and not toward the corporate pockets. And so the hashtag for this podcast is Keep Your Eyes Open. Tune in to Flavors and Knowledge, which is offered on every one of your preferred platforms, as well as Anchor.fm. You may want to subscribe to Italian version of Sapere I Sapori, the flavors and the knowledge, but it's offered in the Italian language. You can also subscribe to News You Can Eat 24, which is a selection of videocasts on YouTube under the Chef Walter's Cooking School page. And if you would like some great recipes, you can always join our newsletter, walterpotenza.it. chefwalter.substack.com. I will have all the links and the details and the show notes. Meanwhile, if you're on occasion today or tonight, keep your eyes on the fire, eat well, be safe, and we'll reconnect on the next round. Ciao, ciao for now.
Flavors and Knowledge is brought to you by Chef Walter's Cooking School in Cranston, Rhode Island. For classes, workshops, events, and programs, please visit our website at chefwalterscookingschool.com. For all other services offered by Chef Walter's Food Group, check out our main website, chefwalter.com.